Join with us. So we'll start on our mats, just in a comfortable seat. As always, I have my blanket here just to pad underneath the hips. So we'll be doing a slow flow 45 minutes, but focus a little bit more on the hips. I know we've done some hips classes in the past, but we'll do some new and different hip postures, some new combinations, and see if we can get into the hips and the hip flexors. So resting comfortably in a nice seat. Close the eyes. Just taking a moment to notice, bringing in from all five senses. Noticing those points of contact where the body touches the mat or the ground. Noticing any noises depending on where you are, maybe people or animals outside or inside your space. Any taste in the mouth, any smells, and noticing the sensation of air moving around you, maybe on the skin. Maybe things are quiet and still, absorbing that in. Starting our practice in stillness. Rooting ourselves down into the earth. Checking in with this moment right here. We'll be here for another few rounds of breath. I'm going to share the first part of this section with you. Again, this is the Invitation to Meditation book from Howard Cohn. We enslave ourselves to ever-changing circumstances and outcomes. We tie our happiness, our well-being, and our enjoyment of this most precious gift of life to the unpredictable whims of the world. We seek happiness outside ourselves when there's already an abundance within. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Perhaps we know of no other way. Perhaps because it's our mind's habit to wander, to become lost in thought, swept up in imagined scenarios, and attached to outcomes. Yet there is another way. That way is here in this present moment. That way is found by guiding our attention back to the present moment when it wanders away from it. Doing so gently and repeatedly. That way is found by reconnecting with our breath and our bodily experience. Sights, sounds, and sensations again and again. That way is found by establishing new habits of the mind. So coming back to this breath, back to this moment. Pressing the hands together at heart center. Setting an intention for your practice. Maybe to just take what you need and leave the rest without judgment or attachment. Or maybe it's to stay here, stay present. When your mind starts to wander off the four corners of your mat, come back. Reel it back in gently and repeatedly to this space. Let's take a few cleansing breaths together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side out. This time, inhale, reach and hold. Interlace the fingers. Reach up nice and tall. Point the pointer fingers up. And then I'll mirror you. We'll take it over to the right. Spin the chest open, try to keep both glutes glued down. Inhale back to center and take it over to the left. Inhale back to center. One more time each side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take it over. Glue that opposite glute down to the mat or your blanket. Inhale back to center, reach and lift. Exhale, take it over. Getting into the side body, finding some space. Awesome. Inhale back to center. Keep the fingers interlaced, but interlace all of the fingers. Press the palms away. Find your breath. One more time each side. Tick-tock over with the hands interlaced over to the right. Inhale back to center and over to the left. Inhale back. Keeping the fingers interlaced, place them underneath the base of the skull. So almost as if you were doing a little bit of a push-up, trying to get my hair out of the way, but maybe a little bit higher. So wrapping your hands around the skull. And then start to round forward, drop the elbows. Use the little bit of extra weight of the hands to press the head down, press the chin into the chest. Find a little round in the spine here. And then inhale, open up. Stretch the elbows back, stretch across the chest. Exhale, round the elbows down, put a little bit of, tiny bit of extra weight on the head. One more time, inhale, reach the elbows back, open across the chest. Exhale, round, tuck and hold. Inhale back up. Place the hands on the knees and we'll just find a couple of circles. So just nice circles. Doesn't matter which way you start. Circling the ribs over the hips, finding some movement in the trunk. And switch. Checking in with that breath. Nice even flow of inhale and exhale. When you feel evened out, come back to center. We'll roll over onto hands and knees. Find your way into your tabletop position. We are going to kick the legs out a little bit, front, back, and side. So give yourself some space if there's things around you. Find your tabletop, knees underneath hips. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Find your cat-cows. Drop the belly, lift the gaze as you inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Keep rolling with your breath 2 or 3 more times. Awesome, come back to neutral, pull the belly button into the spine. Maybe reset the knees slightly towards center. And then we'll lift the right foot, big toe flexes down. Again, pull the belly button to the spine. Find some space here. And then 3 times, we're gonna bend at the knee, pull the right knee towards the right elbow, and shoot it back. Exhale. Reach the right knee towards the right elbow, doesn't need to touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. This time, exhale, squeeze. Option to find a little balance. Reach the left arm out wide. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, squeeze. Elbow to knee, reach the arm out and fly. A little awkward airplane. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Last time. Exhale, squeeze. Plant the left hand down, step the right foot through. So we'll move the right foot to the right side of the mat, bring the hands inside. We're gonna find a little bit of our low lunge half split, but in this dragon variation. So right foot to the outside of the mat, And then find a little movement, so drop the hips down, open in the hip flexors, bend it back, straighten it out. So find your version of this movement. Maybe hands are on blocks if you had books. We'll do this a few more times and then we'll settle into our low dragon lunge here. So just straightening out the front leg. I'll move these arms so you can see. And then come back forward. Maybe walk the right knee out a little more. Hands come to the inside. So have this right knee dropping out a little bit. Maybe come to the outside blade of the right foot. So the leg is opening up. We're getting into that right hip. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath. You may also want to come to the elbows if you have this space. Low dragon lunge. If that back knee is not padded and starting to find any discomfort, maybe you tuck the toes and come off of that back knee just briefly. Three more rounds of breath here. Go to your degree of comfort. Slowly start to press yourself back up. Swing this right knee back, and we'll find some circles here. So circling the right knee out, finding little fire hydrants. And then eventually we'll kick the right leg out wide. So I'm going to turn to face you. Kick the right leg out nice and wide. Rise up. So left knee over left hip. Right leg is out nice and long. We're turning the toes towards the same direction as the knee. Inhale, reach the left arm up and overhead. Take it side, body stretch. Find some space. And windmill it down, take it over. Right arm up and over the head, reach. Find this full version. And then take it back. Take this 2 more times. Again, this is where I think it's really nice to pad the knee with a blanket. It doesn't need to be a yoga blanket. It could be anything that you have at your house. Or even a really small pillow. Awesome, come back up. We're gonna keep the hips high and start to melt them back a little. Walk the hands down. And then maybe you can palm the mat. We'll find a little bit of like a puppy pose here in the chest. So walk the fingertips forward. Start to melt the chest down, pressing the hips back. Maybe you can come to the elbows, or if you have a pillow, you can place it underneath the chest. Find your breath. Slowly start to rise up. Take it back. Pull the right knee back in to meet the left. Shake the hips out. I'll turn back to the front. We'll take that on the other side. So take a round or 2 of cat-cow to reset. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Big inhale. Exhale, round. So we'll take that, all of that to the other side. So extend the left toes long. Find some length. Pull the belly in. So that big toe's facing down. And then 3 times just the knee. We'll squeeze the left knee towards the left elbow. And then extend it long. 2 more times. Squeeze. Maybe you connect the knee to the elbow. And release. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, release. This time, option to take the arms. Reach the right fingertips forward. Find your spinal balance. Engage in the center of the body. And then take it wide. Fly the arm out. Bend the knee. Inhale long. Exhale to the side. Last time, inhale long. Exhale to the side and hold. And then right hand plants down, step this left foot outside of the hands. Both hands on the inside of the left foot. And finding our dragon lunge here. Back knee is down. Dropping the front of the right hip down. Maybe you start to walk this left foot out a little more. Bring it to the outside blade of the foot. We'll find a little bit of movement here, so keeping this leg a little wider than we would in our low lunge half splits. And rock it back. Find your breath. One more time, find some movement. And then bend a little deeper. Find your way into your dragon lunge. Option to stay with the hands lifted. Or maybe you start to come to the elbows or to some sort of prop. Getting a little deeper into the left hip, find your breath. Two more rounds of breath here. Slowly start to press away. Swaying this left knee back. Find some circles. Find your little fire hydrants. Then we'll shoot this left leg straight out. Same thing as the other side, left toes face the same way as the knee. Plant that foot down, which is why I like to go to the side, because you have a little bit more space and length on the mat to really plant the foot down, find some stability. So right hip over right knee. We'll take the right arm up and over, reach long, and then find your flow. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Check in with your breath. Inhale as we reach. Exhale as we reverse. One more time. Come back to neutral. Keep the legs where they are. Start to walk it forward. So shoot the hips back. Stay here with just the hands grounded first. Maybe you find a little movement here. Notice where you might feel this in the left leg or hip. And then option 2, start to bring it down a little bit more towards puppy pose. So we're melting the heart down towards the mat or the floor. Find your breath. You can extend the arms long and melt the chest, or just find the elbows, or stay right up on the hands. One more round of breath here. Start to rise up, walk it back. Pull the left knee in to meet the right. Shake the toes side to side. Find some movement. We'll come back to our seat. So we're going to do a little bit of mobility and stability work in this hip joint. So reach for the right foot. It really doesn't matter which way you start. You can start with the left if you'd like. We're gonna bring, so it depends on how much space you have here. You can keep the leg pretty far away from you and just place the right hand on the right knee. And we'll move a little bit just side to side. So kind of like you're rocking your little hip. I like to do this on the back too. Feels nice either way. Maybe some of you have a little bit more space. You can put the foot in the crook of the elbow and you'll find maybe a little bit more here. So be gentle, find your breath. And then we're gonna stack the legs. So for some people, I happen to be hypermobile, which is really not actually a good thing, which I'll explain some other time. But so for me, this doesn't feel like much. I'm stacking knees over ankles. So right knee over left ankle, left knee over right ankle, or under right ankle. But for a lot of people, you're gonna be here. As long as the pelvis is grounded, maybe you can place a pillow or a blanket underneath this hip or the knee that's really lifted. But we're stacking, it's called double pigeon or fire log. So see how this works in the body. And a couple of rounds of breath. Maybe if you have a lot of space, you can start to walk forward. If you're like me and you don't get a ton of sensation just by stacking the shins, you can start to walk it forward and you're gonna get a lot more sensation in that hip. So wherever you are with your fire log stacked on top of each other, find your breath. One more round of breath wherever you are. Slowly start to walk it back. Awesome. We're still working with this right leg. We're gonna step the right leg across. So if there's not space to do that and keep both sits bones grounded, you can just step the knee in. But if you have the space to step it across, inhale, sit up nice and tall. We'll find a twist. Reach the left arm up and twist over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Remove that right foot. Allow the right foot just to do whatever it needs to. We'll start to concentrate on this left leg, left hip. So rocking your little baby, reaching the left hand to the left knee. Start to rock. So we're just moving the shin like we're sawing across our midsection. It's not a super pleasant visual, I guess. And then if you have additional space, you can place that foot in the crook of the elbow and find your little rock there to get a little bit more sensation. So sensation is fine. A tiny bit of maybe, discomfort, if you will, is okay, as long as it's not a pain that you would say is stabbing or burning or something super unpleasant like that. So we want sensation, right? That's what we're aiming for, is to get some additional mobility and stability in the joint, which is going to take some sensation to get there. So we don't want to feel nothing. We just want to make sure that we're finding that difference between sensation and what we might call pain. So we're going to stack other way. So in my case, left shin over right shin, feet are flexed. Find our double fire log. Again, keeping this glutes glued to the mat. And so if this knee is really high, stacking something underneath so that you can rest. So this side's a little bit tighter for me, I think. So just sitting up tall here, shin starting to become a little bit parallel. So as you can see, this is a little bit of the shape of the bottom leg when we're in our pigeon on our bellies, if you're familiar with that pose. Hence why we call it double pigeon. Or if you feel like you need a little bit more, lift up tall as you inhale and then start to walk it forward, melt it down, get a little deeper into that left hip. Two more rounds of breath here. Slowly start to walk it back. Pull this left knee up again, maybe find that mobility, and if you have the space, step the left foot over the right thigh. Sit up nice and tall, or otherwise just pull the knee into the chest wherever you are. Reach the right arm up, find your twist. You can either hook the elbow or open wide. I just turned the other way and I noticed that the dog is sleeping very, very peacefully on the back of the couch and doesn't seem to notice that anything else is going on. Come back to center. I guess he's used to this by now. Day 23 of this, and I teach for a studio, so more than that. Cross over at the ankles. We'll find our way into our tabletop and we'll set up to go into down dog. So we'll do a little bit of movement and hip work from down dog. Fingers spread nice and wide. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips high and back. Find some movement here. So walk your dog out. Bend one knee then the other. Finding some space in the backs of the legs. Maybe you gaze underneath one shoulder. Eventually finding some stillness. Press the ground away. Maybe a little micro bend in the knees, especially if the legs are tight. Check in with your breath. Right leg will lift. We'll bend the knee and drop the right heel towards the left glute. Try to keep the shoulders squared off. One more round of breath. Big inhale. Exhale, pull the knee towards the right elbow, and then we're going to circle it back and up. We'll do that 2 more times. Pull the right knee towards the right elbow, circle it out wide like you're doing those fire hydrants. Extend it long last time. Use the core. And then again, find that knee bend. Option to flip your dog here. Open up the hip flexors a little. Drop the right foot up and over. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of the mat. Reach. Extend across the front body. And then slowly unflipping. So that's just an option of going upside down. Doesn't feel appealing to you. Please skip it. And then pull this right knee in, same leg again. Step it through. We'll drop the back foot down, work our way into warrior 2. So front heel, back arch starting to come into alignment. Bend into that front knee. Reach the arms long. Find your breath. Then turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of the mat. Walk the feet in slightly. Heels come in, toes come out. We're going to come into our goddess squat. So keep a nice tall spine. Arms can come into little goalposts. Drop a little bit deeper. Find your breath. You can also take the hands to heart if that's better for you. Doesn't matter. We're focusing more on the lower half of the body anyway. Inhale, reach long and lift. There goes my head at the top of the screen. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale, reach, straighten the legs. Exhale, sink it down. So maybe you find a little movement here. You drop straight down a little bit more. Awesome. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge. Hands to the hips. Shoot the booty back straight down. Halfway. Fold all the way over. We'll start to work into Skandasana. So turn the toes out. One set of toes out. The other foot drops open. And then walk it back through center. Switch to the other side. So it doesn't matter which way you start. So now I'm bending into the left knee. Right toes flex up. Walk it back through. Awesome. Go one more full round here. Well, that squeaky part of my floor again. I don't know if you can hear that. Who am I kidding? My whole floor is squeaky. Come back to center. Awesome. And then we're going to turn to face the other way. Swing this left leg back and through. Bend at the knee. So we're going to take all this on the other side. Bend at the knee. Drop the left heel towards the right glute. Keep the shoulders squared off. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, pull the left knee towards the left elbow, and then swim it back around and extend. 2 more times. Exhale, pull it in. Swim it out, extend. Last time. And then rebend into this knee. Option to flip your dog here. Drop the left foot up and over. Stay right where you are. Left arm reaches. Slowly unflipping. And then pull the left knee in, step it through. Set your feet up first. Front heel, back arch start to come like there's an imaginary line. Rise up into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Bend that front knee and reach. Settle the shoulders. Check it out, make sure the left knee, the bent leg is coming more towards the pinky toe, less towards the big toe. Turn all 10 toes to face long edge of the mat. Do something different here. So walk the heels in, toes out. We're coming into yogi squat malasana. So for some people, it may feel good to place the heels on a rolled up blanket or to sit on a couple of books. If this doesn't really work for you, you can come back to that yogi, the higher up goddess squat. Elbows press the knees away, melt the shoulders down. Check in with your breath. We're gonna come back, we'll take a little break in between. So plant the hands, walk the feet back in, hip distance apart. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, root down, rise up, take it overhead, reach. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. We'll find our way back into our yogi squat. So option here for a little twist, a little opening. I'll mirror you, right hand down, press the right knee into the right forearm, reach the left arm up. Maybe some of you have the space to take the bind here. Come back to center. No rush if you're binding. Other side, left hand presses down, press the left knee in, open. And bring it back to center. Awesome. We'll do a little bit more here from the ground. I'm gonna move my blanket out of the way. Drop to the bum. We'll find a little bit of our upside down table pose. So feels really nice on the fronts of the hips and the hip flexors. So plant the soles of the feet, turn the fingertips towards the bum. Find some space here. And we're gonna lift the hips up, reach them nice and tall, and then slowly drop them back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Press the fingers and the feet into the mat. Lift the hips high and release. Last time. And release. Awesome. Take the soles of the feet wide. Find some neutralness first. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, start to fold forward. So, a couple of options here. You can find some place to stack your arms or your forehead. Whatever you need to find a little bit of comfort here. Play with the distance between the heels and the inside of the body. Try not to create any new tension in the neck. Can you step back into this present moment, letting everything else go? Noticing the realness of the sensation of your breath. Not attaching a label of good or bad. Just knowing that it is happening, it is real. You are alive right here, right now. 2 more rounds of breath here. Slowly start to rise back up. Just find a moment here in neutral. And then we'll pull the knees in together. 1 round of breath. And then we'll start to walk the soles of the feet out wide. Let the knees fall in. Maybe take the hands back behind you and find a little windshield wiper. Drop the knees side to side. Awesome, and then I'm going to demo the twist we're going to do from here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So we're going to drop the knees over to the right. We'll do it from our back, but I just want you to be able to see it when you kind of have a little bit better ability to see what I'm talking about. So dropping the knees to the right, and then we would pick the right foot up and stack it on the left knee. It's going to feel different when we're on the ground, but just so you kind of have a visual of where we're going in a minute, come back. Find your movement. So the demo of the other side would obviously be left knees, or both knees to the left. Left ankle stacks on top of the right knee, just to give a little bit more weight and really open into the hip. So we'll do that as our twist in class. Start to rock down. We'll have a few more postures first. Pull the knees into the chest and rock a little side to side. We'll do pigeon on the back. Drop both soles of the feet to the earth. Right ankle just above the left knee. Stay here if you're already getting something. Otherwise, pull the left knee into the chest. Reach around for the back of the left thigh. Melt the shoulders. Relax that space between the eyebrows. Slowly release the shape down. Pull the right knee in. Roll out the ankle. Half happy baby here. Reach for the right foot. Right sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Right knee pulls down. And then we'll pull this right knee across the body. It appears maybe that I don't know if the video is still going or not. Are you guys still seeing this? It stopped showing on my screen, but it's still counting down, so we'll pretend it's still going. I don't know why Facebook has tried to make this so hard on us. Sorry about that. So pull the right leg across the body. I can't see that the screen is still working, but hopefully you guys can. Pull the right leg across the body, and then we'll stack the knees. So stack right knee right underneath the left, and then you're reaching. So shoelace pose or cow's face pose, reaching for the feet, pulling the feet in closer to the body. And find your breath. Slowly start to unwind, bicycle the legs out. Right sole of the foot plants, left ankle crosses over. Find your pigeon on your back here, figure 4. Pull the right knee in. Find your breath and settle. Three more rounds of breath here. Slowly drop the right sole of the foot to the earth. Lift the left sole of the foot to the ceiling. Find your half happy baby here. Take that left knee wide. And then we'll find that cow's face pose or shoelace. So stack like you're kind of starting to wrap the thighs. Stack the left knee right underneath the right. Reach for the feet. Find your shoelace pose here. I'm just going to check that you guys can hopefully still see me by looking at my phone, because I can't see myself anymore. So let's hope that you can still see it. Yep, okay. That's good. All right. Because I'm seeing a big black screen, nothing else. Check in with your breath. Slowly start to unwind. Pull the knees into the chest and we'll rock a little side to side. We're going to move into that twist that I demoed a little bit earlier. So allow the knees to rock towards the right. And then option to just stay here. If you're feeling enough, you don't want any more, no worries. If you want a little more, just stack this right ankle just over and rest it on the left knee. I'm gonna get a little bit deeper here. Just using a little bit of weight and resistance. Awesome, come back to center, uncross the legs. Shake the knees out side to side. And then we'll windshield wiper, drop them over to the left. Same options here, just trying to keep the shoulders. So the shoulders is not where we're twisting from. We're twisting from the hips. So shoulders stay glued to the mat. If you need to lift this right shoulder up in order to find a twist, no worries. Stack the left ankle just above the right knee. So if you get there and you realize this is really not where you want to be, just come back to your normal spinal twist in class. Two or three more rounds of breath here. Slowly, gently start to release. Windshield wiper the knees. Bring the knees into the chest and squeeze. Awesome, let it go. We'll find our way into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. If there's anything else that you need to round out your practice, feel free to take that now. Maybe another inversion, full happy baby, plow, anything that is calling to you. Otherwise, start to relax yourself down onto the mat. Allowing the toes to fall open. Maybe allowing the hands to fall out wide. Melt the shoulders. Begin to release any control of the breath. Come back to those real and present sensations of being right here, right now. Sensation of the ground and your mat holding you up. Maybe the feel of the floor underneath the arms. Sensations of the clothes touching your body. Noticing the noises within your space and outside of it. The rhythmic sound of your own breath. take rest. Bring us back together after a few minutes' time. Slowly bringing some awareness back into the breath. Bringing awareness back into the fingers and the toes. Draw your awareness back into this space. Everything that's happening in this moment. And slowly and gently, as you can, start to roll up to a comfortable seat. Allowing the eyes to be heavy or closed. Finding a nice tall spine. So as we talk about taking the time and the space to notice where we are, to live in this moment without reaching and imagining the future. That's what our aim when we find some seated, quiet meditation is. It's coming back to this Invitation to Meditation book. Meditation is the training of our minds to dwell more fully and frequently in the present moment. It is an act that we can practice. Much as one practices the piano or a foreign language. In order to strengthen our skills, we must practice. Practice in experiencing and staying in the present moment. In doing so, we quiet our minds and relax our bodies. We more easily tap into the natural happiness, peace, and ease that is within us. And we lessen the desire to be anywhere other than where we are right now. If that sounds too complicated, consider this. Meditation is as simple as noticing what you're experiencing and what you are thinking. Meditation is as simple as noticing that your mind has wandered, and then noticing that it has returned to the present moment. Meditation is as simple as noticing your emotions as you feel them. Not trying to change them, but just noticing them. It's as simple as sitting quietly. It's as simple as observing the rise and fall of your breath as you inhale and exhale. So if you'd like, for the next few moments, sitting in stillness and quiet, and just noticing the rise and fall of your breath. Cueing back into those sensations. Take a few moments here Bring in a deeper inhale. Let it go, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, let it go. Bring the knuckles to the thumbs, to the sternum, symbolizing the connection of our body to our breath, our prana, our life force. Reminding ourselves that we have purpose and worth and value. We can use the strength of our mind and our practice to come back to what is real and true, what is happening right now. Letting go of the what ifs and if onlys. Taking a moment to remind yourself all the things that you are grateful for. Remind yourself that you are enough just as you are right now. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. No changes needed. No apologies necessary. Taking this sense of gratitude and this feeling of being enough. This ability to come back to the present and the real. To this moment. Taking it with you through your day and your week. It's truly my honor to guide you through your practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.